Wait, $80 for a Switch 2 game? That must be an error. There's no way. I have supported this company for years and bought every single Mario game. How could they do this to us? Maybe they can lower the game prices to $70. That seems fair, doesn't it? I'm having flashbacks to the Wii U days. It's all over for Nintendo and the Switch 2. You know, $500 for a Switch 2 with Mario Kart World actually doesn't seem that bad. I'm pre-ordering.
What's going on, dudes? It's your boy Andy Matrix. I'm back on Angry Guys YouTube channel. So you saw the title. Nintendo fanboys can be pretty toxic. It's a very weird fandom. It's a very weird fandom. You know, it's I honestly don't think that I can relate to the fandom. And I've been a fan of many things. I mean, I've been an anime fan. I've been pretty obsessed with Final Fantasy and Square Enix. And I don't really defend Square Enix or Final Fantasy like Nintendo fanboys defend Nintendo. It's a really, really strange fandom. We're gonna talk about it, but first, guys, it's your boy Andy Matrix. If you have not heard of me, make sure to follow me on my YouTube channel, Andy Matrix Gaming. Right, Andy Matrix Gaming, and yeah, click the link below to follow my YouTube channel. I talk about anime, video games, and Japanese culture. Those are my main topics on that channel. Okay, and make sure to follow Angry Guy on Rumble. Okay, YouTube has become the censor station, and Angry Guy is uploading his videos on Rumble. So go ahead and follow him there. Link is in the description below. Guys, do not let anybody tell you that you will own nothing and be happy. Angry Guys got the Crypto Academy, where you can learn to buy and sell cryptocurrency. You can learn how to day trade crypto. You can learn how to make a profit with crypto. You know, why not? If it's going to be the digital future, but it's going, with crypto, we'll have a little bit more freedom with our money. So go ahead and click the link in the description below and check out Angry Guys Crypto Academy. Now, let's move on to our topic. Nintendo fanboys is a weird fandom because they do not question Nintendo. They don't question Nintendo. They really don't. They don't question Nintendo. Whatever Nintendo says, they just kind of go along with it. I've seen YouTube videos of Nintendo fanboys, and with all due respect, I do like a lot of these channels, but I feel as though they kind of like submit to what Nintendo says and believe everything Nintendo says, right? You got to have a healthy skepticism, right? Got to have a healthy skepticism. Have your own thoughts, do your own research. But I feel as though like there's people that, especially those that grew up with Nintendo from the 80s, 90s, there's people that like Nintendo a little too much to the point where like it kind of freaks you out a little bit. Right now, one of the weird things about Nintendo fanboys is that whatever Nintendo puts out there, they buy it. Okay, Nintendo puts out a 720p, morning alarm clock, they buy it. Nintendo puts out some cardboard design out there of Mario or Luigi, they buy it. Nintendo takes up crap on a platter, puts it on the table. Well, you know how that ends. It's very weird. It's very weird. And with all due respect, everybody has the freedom to buy whatever they want. Buy whatever you want, right? But I think it's just the benefit of the doubt that they give Nintendo is just kind of weird to me. Because the average person is very iffy when it comes to money. They're very iffy when it comes to buying something. Right. But, then again, there's a lot of weird fans. It's kind of like people that are very loyal to like the iPhone, buying an iPhone every year when it comes out. It's kind of like that. Right. But it's not just the fact that they buy everything that Nintendo puts out there, a complete Nintendo fanboy. But it's also the way they defend Nintendo. Now, recently, you guys already know, Nintendo controversy with $80 video game prices. There's people that defend that. Right? They'll say things like, oh, well, everything's going up. Yeah, but should it? especially when a video game is just digital. When you're getting the digital copy of a game, should that be defended? Because I understand the disc and the plastic box to put it in. Yeah, that costs money. Okay, fine. But the digital copy, why does it need to cost $80 if it's digital? And that's Nintendo. And then, of course, we have the Nintendo Switch 2 controversy where, you own nothing and be happy. You don't own your Switch. You don't own your console. And if you put in a little SD card trying to play your old games, okay, we are going to ban we're going to ban your Switch. You're not going to be able to play it after you spend, $500, $600 on it. Why the heck not? Why the heck not? They don't really question. As a matter of fact, they come up with reasons as to why that's a good thing. Or, they just kind of like take the side of Nintendo. They defend it. It's very, very weird to me. It's very, very, very strange. I don't understand it because, Square Enix, I criticize being a Square Enix fanboy myself, especially back in the 2000s, 2010s. I question Square Enix. And there were games that I did not release because I just thought they were just kind of lazy. Right? When a company's being lazy that they're not really trying. Right? But the Nintendo fanboys always give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. Now, this might be something a little crazy to say, but would you say that it's kind of like a cult? Are the Nintendo fanboys like a cult? I mean, seriously, would you say they're kind of like a cult? Right, well, they put on their hoodies on, and they go to a place underground, and they got the Mario statue on it, and they just pray, "Oh, Nintendo, oh, Nintendo." Oh, wow, man. I'm sorry. But anyways, let's go ahead and play some clips, and we're going to see what the internet has to say about Nintendo fanboys. Here we go.
This is the last video I'm gonna make about that fuck-ass Nintendo Switch, because I did not expect that video to blow up the way that it did. Regardless, my point of that video was not to discourage anybody from buying the fucking Switch. If you wanna buy the Nintendo Switch, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Go buy your fucking Nintendo Switch, go play your fucking Mario, bitch, I don't care, don't worry about me. My point of that video was trying to say that Nintendo fans will literally buy a fucking pack of hot dogs for $50 if it had fucking Mario or fucking the Nintendo logo slapped on it. You guys will buy literally everything and anything, and you guys prove my point every single time. When Skyrim was released for the Switch, it was $60. Skyrim is approaching 15 years old. $60, by the way. Red Dead Redemption, $60, been out for 15 years. Cyberpunk, 5 years, $70 on the Switch. And I'm supposed to believe that buying a Switch is a good investment when the graphics are barely better, when it doesn't even compare to consoles that are 13 years old. You expect me to believe that the Switch is like the premium gaming console? And I understand that it's fucking portable. I understand that the Switch is portable, right? But for the cost of a regular console, it better run like a fucking regular console. Because even docked, it doesn't even meet the benchmark of the PS4 Pro. And also, how often are you motherfuckers even leaving your house to go play your games portably? Like, I don't think I want to play Cyberpunk in public. Like, that's just me. And even at that point, with the Switch 2 being nearly twice the size as the original Nintendo Switch, at that point, it is a fucking tablet. You literally have to carry around a fucking briefcase to be able to play your Nintendo Switch. At least with the DS, it was small enough to be able to carry it around everywhere. Like, you could fit that shit in your pocket, you could fit that shit in your purse, and it wasn't meant to run super high graphics games. When the Switch is trying so hard to be like a regular console, at that point, just buy a fucking console. And when big titles are being released for that much fucking money, you can literally save hundreds if you just invest in a PC, in a Steam Deck, a PlayStation, literally anything. But I understand that Nintendo fans are the Disney adults of the gaming realm, and that you guys will buy anything that Nintendo releases. Do you know how many fucking Mario titles was released for the Switch? 21 Mario titles for the Nintendo Switch since it came out in like 2017. That is literally like fucking PlayStation releasing 21 God of War titles. And you guys will buy every single one. you guys will buy every single one. And like, then again, it's your money. It's your money. But like, why do we have to deal with the cope? Why do we have to deal with you guys defending your purchases because you love this multi-billion-dollar corporation? Which I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, I don't care if you buy the Nintendo Switch. Tell me how fucking Mario Party World or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. I don't play Nintendo games. You know, obviously y'all work for this shit, so go buy it. But what I'm trying to say is that we shouldn't have to deal with your cope. Me simply dog shitting on the Switch should not result in me getting thousands of comments from fucking Switch havers defending their purchase. If you gotta defend it, then obviously it was a bad decision. I was shitting on people that bought the PS5 at launch. But at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. Go enjoy your Switch. All I'm trying to say is that it's a dumb purchase.
Hey guys, in a world pushing you to own nothing and be happy, crypto is your key to survival. Join Angry's Crypto Academy to master buying, selling, and trading crypto. Make huge profits and safeguard your wealth. Plus, discover the one crypto virtually no one is talking about, poised to create new millionaires in the upcoming bull run. The link is in the description of the video below. Go check it out now.
I just want to point out, in my last video, I never said that I'm not going to get a Switch 2. I just said, hey, if you get one day one, I think you're dumb. Are you actually dumb? No. It's your money. You're grown. I can't tell you what to do. I think a lot of you guys are just more butthurt that I called you guys dumb for getting it on day one than if you got the money to get it. Who am I to y'all? Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm a guy with less than 3,000 followers on here. Y'all are more upset that I called you guys dumb. Which kind of proves my point that you are kind of dumb. You are dumb. You're dumb if you're arguing with somebody that's calling you dumb for you spending your money the way you want to spend it. You guys work hard to get a Switch 2. Congratulations. I just think it's stupid if you get it day one. There's no incentive on getting a Nintendo Switch 2. There is, but, you know, hit dogs will holler.
Nintendo fans are crazy because I just saw somebody out there trying to compare a Switch 2 to a Steam Deck and say that the prices are similar, therefore basically okay. However, one of the craziest things that I really want to stress is the fact that you guys assume that a Nintendo Switch 2 and a Steam Deck can do the very same things is beyond baffling. Just to put into perspective, a Steam Deck can run Steam games, run Xbox games, run PlayStation games. It can run pretty much anything out of any other launcher. You have a full-fledged operating system within your Steam Deck. Connect your mouse and keyboard to basically utilize it as if it was a PC. Use it as a handheld between different consoles. Jailbreak it to basically get even more features, and on top of all of that, I'm not condoning this because I know somebody out there will get mad at me, you can literally get emulators to play Nintendo games. Do y'all remember when Zelda came out on the Steam Deck? Yeah. So the Steam Deck has all of those features, and the Nintendo Switch has the ability to play Nintendo games legally and have the ability to use physical cartridges. And on top of that, if I remember correctly, I think the Steam Deck still has better specs than the Switch 2. I don't even know how you can consider that to be even remotely a good comparison, but, you know, whatever. Use your brains, please.
Wait, $80 for a Switch 2 game? That must be an error. There's no way. I have supported this company for years and bought every single Mario game. How could they do this to us? Maybe they can lower the game prices to $70. That seems fair, doesn't it? I'm having flashbacks to the Wii U days. It's all over for Nintendo and the Switch 2. You know, $500 for a Switch 2 with Mario Kart World actually doesn't seem that bad. I'm pre-ordering.
Super duper Nintendo fanboys are annoying as shit. I'm talking about those people who see cardboard pop up during the Nintendo Direct and then go wild. Woohoo! Woohoo! Then upload their reaction 10 seconds later like it's the greatest thing they've ever seen in their life. I'm talking to those people who defend Super Mario 3D All-Stars. From the campaign, hey, this is gonna be limited, you better run out and buy it. No, it's still on the shelf today, and not only that, it's not even worth the $60. The only thing I played on it was Mario 64. I'm talking about those people who think that the Nintendo Switch is God's gift to gaming, then go sit down and play their Kingdom Hearts Lag Edition. I'm talking about those people who hop on Twitter and be like, why spend $500 on a PlayStation 5 when you can spend $200 on a Nintendo Switch Lite and play Super Mario 35? Oh wait, no you can't. They took down the good game. I'm talking about those people who claim only Nintendo makes good games. That's inaccurate. The official, they should be in Mario Kart Starter Pack. Yes, never gonna happen and no. Except for Fawful, since he's dead, as cool as he is. I've seen a lot of people saying that this guy can't be a Mario Kart because he's dead. These people must be mind blown whenever they see the Super Smash Bros. Roster. Solid Snake, he's pretty dead. Ridley, he's been dead. Ness, I remember him being dead in Mother 3. Piranha Plant dies about every frame in Mario. And I guess if you really want to sit there and nitpick on Mario Kart lore, a game that doesn't even have a story, then this dumbass is inviting his nemesis Bowser to go go-karting with him. What's up with that? I wouldn't say Mario Kart is any more canon than Super Smash Bros. Is. They both got the Inkling. If it's so canon, why's the Inkling there? That's not a Mario character. People out here acting like Mario Kart has some kind of fantastic written story like it's The Last of Us. Do y'all Nintendo fanboys, super fans? Do you think Mario Kart's like The Last of Us? Is that like the Nintendo version of The Last of Us? Is it? Do you think it's like The Last of Us? Oh wait, you don't know what The Last of Us is because you're sitting there playing your Nintendo Switch all day moving left because your Joy-Con doesn't work anymore. I love Nintendo, but...
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what they said there. I agree. And also, you know, Nintendo is one of the most frustrating companies. And here in America, we might not know it. But in Japan, the Japanese, they know. They know how frustrating it is to deal with Nintendo, because the thing about Nintendo is that they want to have complete control over everything, right? And you know, one of the reasons why Nintendo is still you know, got their heads above water is because of exclusivity. While Xbox and PlayStation, mainly PlayStation. Well, PlayStation, it's they have some exclusive titles, but they're trying to put more of their games out there, right? You know, companies like Nintendo, they want absolute, you know, dictatorship over their games. You will never see a Mario game on Steam or the Epic Games library. That's never going to happen. But you know, eventually, I think Nintendo, they're going to get pressured. They will be pressured to put their games out there on Steam and Epic Games for the simple fact that as more and more people move to PC, you know, as more and more people move to PC and they start, you know, leaving behind console gaming, you know, Nintendo, they're going to start thinking, well, everybody's moving over there. You know, what are we going to do? And if Nintendo tries to start their own Steam type of game library, their own Steam store, let's say, Nintendo online shop for games, right? I don't really think that's gonna work. I don't really think that's gonna work because traditionally Nintendo has been a you know, something tells me that it's probably not gonna work as well as other companies, because if they do, Nintendo might be behind on the trend. And nobody wants to just buy from Nintendo, right? Because then that means that, you know, they'll probably make a website, a Nintendo website, and then you buy the game digitally and play it on your PC. But then it's not the same as like buying the game on Steam. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, what would you rather do? Buy God of War on Steam or buy God of War on the Ubisoft website? Which one do you think sounds better? And that's what I'm trying to get at. You know, it's I don't think it will work the same with Nintendo. In one of the most frustrating things about Nintendo is that you want to like Nintendo, especially since you grew up with this company, you want to like Nintendo, but the problem is that modern day Nintendo they just hate you. They hate you. Modern day Nintendo freaking hates your guts. Hates your guts. And how do you know Nintendo hates you? Is because, I mean, think about it. They show it through their choices. Look at the Switch 2. They almost didn't put any effort onto it. While you have the Xbox ROG Ally, you know, the Asus ROG Ally, the Lenovo Go, you have all these devices that have more computing power. The Steam Deck, right? The Avaneo, they just have more computing power, 16 RAM, better processing chips. It can play games at a higher resolution rate. But the Nintendo Switch is like, where is 2025? And, you know, they basically gave you the same thing, just with less freedom with the Switch 2. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what the Nintendo fanboys have to say. Here we go.
People want me to acknowledge what's going on with Nintendo right now because apparently I'm not allowed to just be excited for the Nintendo Switch 2. So here you go, a Nintendo fanboy's thoughts on the current state of Nintendo. $80 games suck. Like, I don't want to pay more for things, but it's also not surprising because the price of everything is increasing and the cost of making games and tariffs. Like, it's not surprising that they're increasing the price. Doesn't make it any easier to swallow. And I do think that the companies have been wanting to increase the price for quite a while. Look how fast Microsoft jumped on the bandwagon. If you're upset about the game key cards, where have you been? Gaming has been going towards like an all digital future for a while now. Honestly, if this is what they need to do to get third-party games on the system, do it. Because I want to play games like Street Fighter and Elden Ring and Madden on the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't care about things like 20 years in the future or you know, even 10 years in the future if the shop shut down and you don't have access to them. Like, I don't care. Also funny because we had these on the original Nintendo Switch. Like, Borderlands 3 is a cartridge, but you need to download it off the eShop. And I think people are overreacting to the user agreement thing. Now, if Nintendo does start just bricking consoles left and right for no reason, then yeah, we should talk about it. But like, I'm not planning on modding my system. I'm not pirating their games, so like I'm not worried. I don't know, I'm just excited for the Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart and these other things. Like, I couldn't care less.
Listen, I am a Nintendo fanboy, but one of the issues that I have with Nintendo is when it comes to their games, their IPs, I'm talking about the Marios, the Zeldas, the Metroid Primes, the games you can only find on Nintendo, hardly ever do they decide that those games should cost less than what they cost when they originally came out. Because what do you mean that if I go on the Nintendo store right now, I can purchase Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for $59.99? That game has been out forever. That game should never be full price anymore. Especially now with Mario Kart World coming out for the Nintendo Switch 2. And guess what? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still going to be $59.99, I bet you. Because Nintendo does not like putting their games on sale. I don't know what it is. Now, granted, if you look at other games, third-party games, so games that exist on multiple platforms, those games will go on sale. But when it comes to Nintendo's specific IP, their intellectual property, their specific games that you can only find on their consoles, barely go on sale. And when they do go on sale, it's like $10 off. It's like $15 off. Mind you, if you're a PlayStation or a PC gamer, you can easily find games that were brand new, came out, and they've only been out for 6 months, half off during the holidays. And you can find them like, I don't even know. You can find on Steam alone, you can get like games that came out within 6 to 8 months for like a quarter of the price. But Nintendo just will never do that. And I don't know what the reason is behind that. I don't know what the thought is behind that, but it is weird to me. And I've noticed too with people who are newer to the Nintendo family and they just bought a Switch or something recently, I've noticed that a lot of them have been complaining that the Switch games are too expensive. And that is a problem. So, love Nintendo down. Love them down. Will always be a Nintendo fan, but that does irk me.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like exactly what you expect to hear. I mean, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? You know, they just kind of like rationalize why it's okay for Nintendo to sell you $100 games, why the Nintendo Switch 2, why it's okay that you don't own your games, blah, blah, frickety blah, right? They just rationalize all these things from Nintendo, but whatever. Hey, if you guys like this video, make sure to comment below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for future notifications, guys. It's your boy Andy Matrix, and Godspeed.